Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Marburger coming to you with our story Pax, and we are on chapter 11 today. So chapter 11 is being told from Pax's point of view, and then don't forget, right now he is with Bristle and Runt, so they're going to be part of this chapter as well. My brother was born in my mother's second litter. They came early in the season. Last year, spring came late. Snow fell and did not melt, and the earth stayed frozen beneath it. I lived nearby, and I helped hunt. All day long, our parents and I searched for food, because the kits were always hungry, but there was never enough. 2 of his litter mates died in the same day. The farm our mother urged. At the human's farm, there were always fat mice in the warm barn, and at the human's farm, there were eggs in the chicken coop. Our father said no, he would not risk it. So when her third kit grew too weak to stand, our mother defied him. That means she went against him and his wishes. Runt raised his head and gave Bristle a pleading look. Bristle ignored it. So right now what's happening is Bristle is telling this story to Pax. And remember, Runt is her little brother. This is the one that she's talking about. She's talking about his litter mates were dying because they were too weak. She led the strongest of her kits, my sister and me, to the human's farm. Runt edged closer and pressed his nose into Pax's shoulder, and instantly the vixen lashed at his cheek, although Pax noted that she did not use her claws. Runt dropped to the ground. The ground around the barn was cleared of snow by many footprints, animal as well as human. The air was rich with the smell of rodents. Our mother headed for a gap in the wooden boards near the base, with us a few tail lengths behind. Just before she reached it, steel jaws sprang out of the earth with such speed that the air snapped. Our mother screamed. The clamp held her front leg. The more she thrashed, the deeper the metal cut. She began biting at her leg to free it, and every time we tried to come near, she ordered us away. Our father appeared. He had followed in our tracks. He chased my sister and me back into the brush and ordered us to stay there, and then he set to helping our mother. The scene she conveyed was of 2 foxes, bonded by both an old love and a new fear, the fear so terrible that their eyes rolled in the back of their sockets, so vivid that Pax could smell its sharp scent. Runt began to whimper, a piteous sound that made Pax want to comfort him, but Bristle warned him to keep away. A human came then, with a stick. Both our parents screamed at us to run home. We stayed, though, and we saw. The human raised the stick, and in front of our eyes, our mother and our father burst into blood and fur, and shattered bones splattered all over the snow. Runt whined and backed away toward the den again, and Bristle stopped him. My sister and I could not leave our parents' bodies. Darkness fell, and the next day came, and still we hid in the pile of wood beside the barn. Finally we set out, but that night it began to snow. The snow blotted out all the sound and scent. Lost, we crawled under a sweep of pine boughs and curled myself around my sister, who was so much smaller, and in the morning she died. When the snow stopped, I saw that we had sheltered beneath a great pine at the top of our ridge. We had been within sight of home. The image she shared then, her sister's frozen corpse at the base of the mighty pine, seemed to exhaust her. Why do we have no family, brother? Runt turned to Pax. Because of the humans. We have no family. Bristle turned her golden eyes on Pax, inviting a challenge. If he could have, he would have made her know every kindness of every day with his boy. But the hatred she had for humans was deep and fair. Instead, he offered his cheek in sympathy. Bristle turned away and ordered her brother into the den. That was the end of chapter 11. That chapter was all about Bristle telling Pax the story of why she believes the humans are despicable and evil because in front of her eyes and in front of Runt's eyes, her parents were killed. The human beat them with a stick and they died. And then the other little kit, their other little sister that was tagging along, also died later that night. So they've seen a lot of death, all because of humans. So I guess you can understand why they would feel that way, right? Now, Pax's experience with humans is very, very different. And he wants desperately to tell Bristle what his experience is with humans, but she doesn't want to hear it. There's been too much that has happened to her. She's just not interested in listening. So anyway, that was a short chapter. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.